Look, these are the stands of what used to be a football pitch, and now it's a cemetery for cars. There's no football to be played any soon here. And there's 105 facilities that have been affected. Hello to another edition of Coffee with Guillem. This one is a little bit special. I'm taking you on a tour. First, we're gonna go to Valencia, to the villages that were affected by the rainfall of a year following in a small area within hours. And as a consequence, there were floods that took away lives and all kinds of houses and material stuff. But more importantly, it has destroyed many families in many different ways. And we wanted to know in a new talking football show for La Liga TV if football helped in any way, and I was really surprised by it. But have a look at, even though it happened at the end of October, still the consequences are very visible. So it was a big shock with the crew to see all that and talk with the people that are there, who they're all saying one thing: just don't forget about us, because sorting everything out will take a long time, and in some cases the recovery may not even be possible. Then I went to Sevilla and I spoke to Isco, and I'll take you there as well, just to see how we set it all up. Another talking football show for La Liga TV. So have a look at that, and at the end come back if you can to the video, because I'll do quick hits to do with Lopetegui, Zubimendi, Dani Olmo and his situation at Barcelona, and Araujo.
So we write our names in the sand right where we lay, our bodies down to rest, and we'll fall asleep where the land and ocean meet, our place in the wilderness, our place in the wilderness. These days lately feel like bliss, our place in the wilderness.
It's a cemetery of cars. This used to be a football pitch. See the goal? We are here to tell the story of the consequences for football of this severe weather disaster that happened in October in the Valencia province. This, as you're about to see very clearly, was a football pitch, and now used to accumulate the cars that are of no use at all. Power of water.
Let's run away to the coast, somewhere far away from home. All we need is just ourselves and nothing else.
You don't need to be part of a football club of this level, 6th, 7th tier of Spanish football. But I am the chairman of Biggleswade United in 9th division in England, and I cannot imagine, as well as the personal tragedies, of course, and there were many, the consequences to a football club like ours, like this one, like so many in the area. Where do you start? This is, of course, it's a big land, so it has been used as a cemetery for cars. Every now and again there are people that come over and try to find their cars because they don't know where they are, and the insurances are asking them for details, for documents, to be able to prove that their cars have been destroyed, to get some money back. Where do you start as a football club? Which is not just a football club. Everywhere, football club is a community, something that gives you identity, something that you create, and it becomes something very special, the most special club in the world when you're part of it. And now, where do you start to sort this out?
Bodies down to rest, and we'll fall asleep where the land and ocean meet, our place in the wilderness, our place in the wilderness.
course, the first thing that everybody's got to do is to support the victims. 223 people lost their lives here. Then life has to go on, and pitches like this belong to the council. The council has got a limited budget, which of course will be held by the government, is held by the government, and basic things have to be helped and supported, and then once all that is done, what every football club here, and there's been about 75 facilities that have been practically destroyed, they want to bring football back and sport back, because the ones that are demanding and wanting everything to return to normality are precisely those that have suffered. Football is a distraction, but it's also, especially for kids, the opportunity to be together and as I said, just bring some normality to their lives. It's devastating. It's really, really sad, and I've seen it all on the telly. I'm seeing it for the first time here, and it's a shock. On Talking Football, we're going to talk to players, professional players, who some of them play for Levante or for Valencia, and they're local to this area, and they came to help, and they're still helping, because one thing everybody insists is, like, do not forget about us, and that's what we're doing, to remind everyone that there is still a lot of work to do to bring some normality in the area. We'll talk to chairman of football clubs, and want to see what's been done and what else that is to be done to bring back this area to some kind of normality. What a day. Lovely sun. We have to leave now the training ground and set up, because we are talking to Isco, who you saw at the beginning of the little clip. What a lovely day. Everybody's getting ready, because we're preparing another Talking Football. We're going to talk for a long time, in depth, with the magician, with Isco.
Casi se te olvida, lo has dicho. Sí, es que, claro, me habéis cambiado el día. Era para mañana y me habéis cambiado hoy.
Tenemos amigos en común.
Sí.
Guillem. Que está...
¿Asiento? Sí, por favor.
Sí, por favor. Está pasando así. Volvemos al Isco de 14 años. Les dices, me tenéis que dejar ir, o un poco estás pendiente de lo que piensan tus padres.
Disfrutaba jugando al fútbol, estaba en el equipo de mi pueblo. Es verdad que, bueno, uno se da cuenta que siempre pues destaca un poquito más de...
Solo Gracias. Big week in so many ways for La Liga TV crew. Just quick hits to finish this off. That has to do with the transfer market. First of all, Araujo. He's been very ambiguous about his future, because he sees that now that he's recovering from injury, he may not be able to play. Definitely not as a right back. Koundé is there, and as a centre back, Cubarsí and Íñigo Martínez are doing so well. Plus, Barcelona seems to have signed Jonathan Tah from Bayer Leverkusen on a free at the end of the season. So he's thinking, you know what? I'm not even the top 10 wages of Barcelona, so perhaps I should move on. And his agent has looked around, and there are clubs like Arsenal and certainly Juventus that want to have him. But now, they want to have him now. So he's just open to that. So is Barcelona. Having come through the ranks, he will be the kind of player that will earn a lot of money because he hasn't cost them anything. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Zubimendi, I did say that he's changed his mind, that now he's staying at Real Sociedad, of course. He's not moving in the transfer window now, but in the summer it'll be a completely different story. I think it's 60 million euros buyout clause, something that Real Sociedad don't want to negotiate. It's the kind of money that he cost and would cost for his worth. For me, he's one of the top 3 holding midfielders in the world. So 60 million is not that much, and I'm sure Premier League clubs will consider him. So again, want to continue talking to people, see where that develops, but it won't happen right now. The situation of Dani Olmo and Barcelona is now clarified in a way, because the sports branch of the government, Consejo Superior de Deportes, a council that has got authority over La Liga and the Federation, have decided to give an injunction to Barcelona, which means Dani Olmo and Pau Victor can be now registered, have been registered, and Barcelona will have to wait up to 3 months for the Consejo Superior de Deportes, or as we call them, the CSD. They will study the documents that Barcelona have presented. Basically what Barcelona is saying, the rules that the Federation have got in terms of not being able to register players twice in the same season do not apply to Dani Olmo and Pau Victor. The situation has upset a lot of clubs, not Real Madrid, who have quietly held Barcelona on this one, have upset a lot of clubs because it creates a precedent. The deadline was gone and still managed to register players. What's that about? But quite clearly, Barcelona have been benefited by a political decision. It's the government who have said, okay, go ahead, they can play, and now we're going to study the documents. And the Federation and the league are saying, but you haven't heard us, the reasons why we weren't given a registration to these players. So there's a political and sporting battle to be developed now. Completely unacceptable, the behavior of Joan Laporta, celebrating in an exaggerated way and using foul language against members of the Federation. But that's Laporta at the moment, uncontrollable, and running a football club that's always on the edge. But for now, Dani Olmo can play. Finally, on Lopetegui, obviously you could see it coming, the end of his tenure at West Ham. I feel that he's been harshly treated as a person, certainly, but he hasn't been given the opportunity to turn things around that in his eyes were already getting that way. Fulham, Crystal Palace, 2 games that could be winnable by West Ham, and then you start talking about a different kind of season. But it's not going to happen. There's been a little bit of controversy after I went on 5 Live to defend the position of Lopetegui, and I did say that only once in the last 30 years West Ham have been able to get into Europe more than 2 seasons in a row. This is not a team that is used to be in Europe all the time. It was not a priority when Lopetegui arrived to the club to get into Europe. Because of what I'm saying, they just wanted to also change the style, and that takes a while. So the idea was to obviously be a competitive side and start developing with a new style into one that can be into Europe regularly. With that in mind, it was a work in progress, and he was going to build, I felt, on what he had been done already. But the club has decided otherwise, and good luck to Graham Potter. That's it. There'll be more next week, as there always is. Okay, there wasn't around Christmas, but we were all relaxing, weren't we? I'll see you in Coffee with Guillem weekly.